Good morning and welcome to our Facebook Live today. It is Monday the 27th of June 2022 and my name's Jenny McCormack and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the market town of Brackley, which is in Northamptonshire in the UK. If you're joining us live and you would like to, please do say hi so that I know you're watching. And if you're watching on catch up or replay, whether that's here in Facebook or whether that is on YouTube, if you have any questions or queries, then don't hesitate to pop them in the comments section on either of those platforms, and I monitor those on a regular basis, and if there are any questions that need answering, I will get back to you. So we are still using Happiness Abounds. I called it Blossoming Abounds in my description. I don't know why I did that, but Happiness Abounds is the name of the stamp set, and I used it all of last week for our stamp set of the week. And when I was doing that, I said I really wanted to do or try a black and white card because I think this line image looks stunning in black and white, and so that's what we're going to do today. So I'm going to be doing some stamping in black and some embossing in white. So my plan is I'm going to use a black base card, and this is going to be my layer of white. I'm going to have another layer of white on the outside that's going to be stamped over with the line image, and then I'm going to stamp one or two flowers on the black card and emboss in white. And I'm not quite sure how I'm going to lay those on, whether I'll just cut a panel out or whether I'll die cut them. That far I haven't got. So let's get started. So I'm going to stamp the background and also the inner first. One thing I haven't got to hand is my black ink pad. Let me grab that. I'm going to grab a couple because I'm not quite sure how inky they are. So I'm going to use this main image. Hopefully that's in the right place roughly. And I've got Memento Black, but you could use Stays On if you prefer. I prefer Memento. And I'm just going to see how this inks up, only because I don't often use black, as you probably will know. Okay, let me just see what this one is like. So I don't keep them all inked. Not much in it, is there? This sounds like it's got more in it. One day I'll sit down and I'll get all of my ink pads re-inked. Okay, so I'm going to stamp this on the background, and I've just got some scratch paper underneath here. So this is going to be our background layer on the card, and we do have some fabulous black and white papers in our catalogue. Maybe subconsciously, morning Glenda, or rather good evening Glenda, maybe subconsciously that's what I saw. And we also have the lovely Abigail Rose papers that have got a lovely line art as well. So maybe I was being influenced by that subconsciously, because the Abigail Rose flower is similar to this. It's a bit more detailed, but it is similar. Okay, so this is our background for that front layer, and this is going to go onto a black card. So I hope you've had a good day, Glenda, and that you had a nice weekend. So let's just put a tip in here. Different one in there. Just filling in those edges. So I've already cut this piece of card to size, and this is 9.5 centimeters by 13.85, and that will give me a 0.5 centimeter border all the way around. So it's a 1 centimeter difference between the two layers of card. Good, glad to hear it. Right, and then while I'm here, I'm going to stamp the inside right corner, I think. Like so. So I had a busy weekend. I worked Saturday morning, and then I had online class Saturday afternoon, and then I was out all day Sunday with my daughter after a quick coffee and catch up with some friends in the morning. So that's going to be my inside, like that, and that's going to be my front layer. Let's open that flat so you can see that on there. Okay, just going to turn this over and clean that stamp. So we've got coffee and card this afternoon. We'll be using this. There we go. Right. So here's my piece of card. Now I'm not sure how I'm going to cut this, whether I will end up, I don't think I'm going to die cut the flowers because I want a bit more detail behind it. So I'm just going to do some stamping. So I'm starting with our embossing buddy, which I'm pleased to say makes a return in our July to December catalogue. And I've got Versamark ink, and I've got a little bit of white embossing powder. I am busy, although I don't worry, Glenda, I have plenty of time to relax somewhere along the line. Okay, so I'm just wondering if I'm going to do I don't know what I'm going to do. I didn't think this far through, did I? So let's have a look. So inking this up with Versamark, which is our watermark ink, which is not a Stampin' Up product, but we sell it in the Stampin' Up catalogue. Okay, so I've got one there, which I appreciate you can't, you probably can't, no, you definitely can't see that image. I can just in the light. I want to see which way I've stamped that. So So I've stamped another one just to the side of it. And I'm going to do another one at the top. And then when I cut this out, I might just cut a panel out of it. Okay, so I've got 3 there, which you'll see when I put the ink on. Good evening to you, Kerry. I hope you're well and that you've had a good weekend and that you've had a good day today. Okay. So I can see I've missed a little bit at the top here. So I can't believe it's the last few days of June, which means the last few days of our January to June catalogue. Okay, let's just tip that excess away. Okay, and I'm going to heat this with our heat tool. Oh, bless you, Kerry. Hi, Tracy. Good morning to you. Oh, I'm sorry to hear you're battling a cold. I think, well, for us, summer colds are horrid. For you, I guess it's a winter cold. Okay, so I've added my white embossing powder onto this. So now I'm going to heat set it. And I'm going to try and do it slightly away from the microphone. Just put that lid on properly. Sorry, I need to find my Stampin' Up heat tool because it's much quieter. So there's our white embossed flowers. They look lovely, don't they? I'm pleased with how that's come out. So what I'm not quite sure about is whether I'm going to fussy cut around some of these or just cut a panel out of them. Because obviously that's quite a big area. I suppose I could have used a smaller flower, but I love this flower. I think it's just so pretty. So I could use a die cut to cut that into a shape. Now, because of this, actually a rectangle would work really well, I think. Morning, Brenda. Because I was tempted to do a square, but I think a rectangle there. Oh, I don't know. Decisions. Or I could do it this way with a square here. But I want to add a sentiment as well on a strip. Oh, I could do a circle. Okay, let's let's have a look. So I've got stylish shapes here. So that would be a circle. Might take it slightly smaller. Yes. We haven't got enough of the flowers that way, I don't think. Let's have a look at the square. That definitely works because you've got the 3 flower heads in it. Okay, let me find a rectangle die. Decollage would work. Dun, dun. Let's see. This is actually stitched so sweetly, which actually has retired, but it's to hand. And that definitely works, doesn't it? I can't believe I'm so indecisive on a Monday. That's because normally my Mondays is a simple start Monday, so it's usually very simple. So I've got that. Oh, the slightly smaller one. So I could start with the bigger one and then use the smaller one if I need to. Any other suggestions? Now I need to find my die cutter machine. There it is. Okay. Lots of white bits on my plate from the weekend. So let's try white first, the slightly larger rectangle, and I'm going to have it slightly offset. I know you can't see this, I haven't really got enough space on my desk to add everything in, so apologies for that. Okay, let's have a look. Oops. Because I had my online class on Saturday and I've been out Sunday, my craft room is a bit of a mess, to say the least. Yeah, black and white always looks good, doesn't it? So let me see. So we could do it this way and have a small, maybe circular sentiment there, or we could go that way and have a sentiment there. I know the card's upside down. Or maybe even just a small. It's a bit too chunky, isn't it? Let me just grab my small die cuts. That size would definitely work. Oh, I have got the oval punch. Da-dun. How'd you come? That would work. Oh, I'm glitching again. Ooh. Okay, hopefully we don't lose everything. I know this circle might be a little bit too big. So this is Stitch Sweetly. Oh yes, that's an idea. Yes, good plan. Like that, are you thinking? All that. That works, doesn't it? Or it looks like it should work. That's a good plan, Kerry. Because it's then all rectangles, isn't it? Okay, so let's cut that out of a piece of white. I'm going to cut it first and then stamp it. This is obviously an inner that didn't get put in. Right, let me just cut that out. Bear with me 1 minute. Come on, it should come. There we go. So we could do it like that. Yeah, so it's a good idea for the edges of the dies matching, or like that. Okay, so while we deliberate which way round that goes, let's just have a look at it this way. Yeah, it feels a bit pushed in that way, doesn't it? Okay, so let's stamp this sentiment in preparation. Let's see what will fit on. You're wonderful in every way should fit. Wishing you all the happiness fits as well. You're wonderful in every way. Okay. Oops, I've got a magnet there. All the dies are hopping onto it. Perfect. Thank you, Kerry. And hi to everybody who's joined since I started. Okay. So I'm going to stamp onto this and then we'll work out the best plan. I need to take my glasses off. So if you're not familiar with this stamp set, it's called Happiness Abounds. It's got this lovely line art flowers, and it's got some great papers that go with it and some great dies. Here's one that I did on Saturday as part of our class, a variation on one of the class projects. It's waiting for its sentiment, but that's it in sort of full colour. And then today we're monochrome. So all I need to know is at the bottom or at the top. Thank you, Kerry. Let me know what you think. In the meanwhile, I'm going to be adding these layers on anyway. So I've got the inside and the outside. So let's pop those on in the meantime. Top, yes, my gut feeling was top, I have to say, Brenda. So this is our inside. So I've got a larger border just to show a little bit more of that black today. And if you know me or you've been following me for a while, I very rarely use black. I certainly don't use black ink for general purposes. I veer towards early espresso. And so a black and white card obviously requires that. So I'm just going to see if there's a sensible way for those to go. I don't think it makes a great deal of difference. Oh, we're glitching again. I don't know why either. I'm not even on Wi-Fi. So if we do stop audio, I will just carry on as I'm nearly finished anyway. Fingers crossed. Whether I've got a cable loose or something, I don't know. Bear with me, everybody. Right, I'm going to pop this one up on dimensionals, and we said top. I could put my glasses on to find my dimensionals, which are just here. So hurrying swiftly along just in case we stop. Oh, we have stopped. Okay, apologies everybody. I can see on my computer that the video has stopped, so I'm just going to finish this up, as I can see the audio is still working, so I do apologise. Go, and then this one with a little bit of overlap, so I'm going to put glue on the left, and not that you can see it, a dimensional on the right. So thank you, Glenda. Sorry there's nothing else to see. I will stop at this point because there's no point just listening to me. But the card is all finished, so I'll photograph it in a second and add it as a post. So thank you so much for joining me, everybody. Yes, I don't know why that is. What's happened to that? I'll maybe have a look at my cabling. And I look forward to crafting with you again soon. I will be here tomorrow evening, Tuesday at 7 p.m. That's the 28th of June. I have a card class in the afternoon, and I'll see you in the evening here in the UK. thank you everybody. I really appreciate your patience with me again. Luckily we got most of the way through, so I'll photograph this straight away and put it up, and you'll be able to watch most of the replay. I won't bother redoing it because you can see the majority of the card go together. Thank you everybody. Do take care. Have a great day, morning, evening, afternoon, depending on where you are and when you're watching. And I look forward to crafting with you again really soon. Bye for now. Thanks for watching.